So, if you're new to Rochester, just visiting Rochester, or even if you've been in Rochester for a long time, if you're bored, you're looking for something to do, you're wondering what is there to do, well, let's talk about it. Let's figure it out together on this episode of Real Talk. So, what's up, friends from across the globe? Hope you guys are appreciating life to the fullest. I myself am having a great time just digging myself out of all of this snow. Of course, it's wintertime here in Rochester, New York. Of course, my name is David Maldonado, aka Real Deal. Call me what you like, as long as you don't call me late for dinner. And today, I want to get into a little list. It's kind of a short to medium sized list of things that we could do here in the Rochester, New York, which is the upstate western region of New York State. Now, whether you're trying to hang out by yourself, trying to go out on a date, maybe even a family outing, there's always something to do. I believe here in Rochester, there are people who say that there is not things to do, but I also believe that these are the same people who are not open to different ideas. They're kind of like stuck in their own ways, or they're stuck into things that they believe is cool or not cool. It's not cool to be bored. So, without further ado, let's get into our list. Depending on the time of year, you would get also some different events and festivals that happen to come. Some of them on a regular schedule, some of them just pop up whenever I guess they coming across town. As far as festivals, some of the very popular festivals in the Rochester area is the LILAC Festival, which is, yes, it's based on lilacs, but they set up stages, and there's a lot of vendors, a lot of food, a lot of different things. It's pretty entertaining festival. A lot of people come and they enjoy themselves there. You have the Jazz Festival, which is another pretty huge festival that comes to Rochester. The Fringe Festival, you have the East Ave Festival, Park Ave Festival, Clarissa Street Festival. You have a lot of festivals that come, specifically when the weather is nice. Same, we have a lot of parades that come across, which could be a fun time, like the St. Patrick's Day parade. When the weather is decent, it's a pretty fun time. I've been at the St. Patrick's Day parade when like the streets was like packed, like you could hardly walk, and but it was crazy. People just enjoying themselves, going into the bars, eating food and whatnot, buying stuff from vendors. St. Patrick's Day parade is pretty fun when at least when the weather is, even when the weather is okay. I was gonna say that because I think it happens somewhere in between March, April, and in Rochester, the weather could be pretty cold still. Although it depends. But as well, you have a lot of big venues in Rochester, like the Blue Cross Arena, the Auditorium, the Armory, as well as the Water Street Music Hall, and a lot of other places which I haven't mentioned. Obviously, they have a lot of concerts and shows going on all the time. You can go onto these individual websites and look up, what they have scheduled down the line. For instance, I know the believe at the Blue Cross Arena will be hosting Cat Williams on April 1st this year, and the DC Young Fly, who's part of the 85 South show, they are appearing at the Armory, no, at the Auditorium. And I had seen on the Water Street Music Hall, I seen Ashanti will be performing right before Valentine's Day. It's like a day or two before Valentine's Day this year, so you guys could check that out as well on the website. Um, but plenty of festivals all year round. Even in the wintertime, they do the Christmas something at the Martin Luther King Junior Park, which is downtown. There's ice skating and different vendors that come along and they sell things, even alcohol. You want to get yourself some warm cider with something toasty in there to enjoy the evening. And during the summertime, they have Party in the Park, which is also a cool thing. They set up a stage, they got live music, and they be rocking out. Now, As well, in the summertime, can't forget we have an amusement park, Sea Breeze Amusement Park, which is north on the north side, right in between kind of the bay and the Arundequay Bay and the Lake Ontario, all the way down Culver Road. From any side of the city, if you're within the city, it's like a 15-20 minute ride. It's not far at all, which is awesome. And you also have an even larger park, which is Darien Lake, which I believe is what do you call that place? Great Adventure. It's a great adventure again. It used to be for a little while, and then it ceased. Went back to just being regular Darien Lake, which is still a cool place, but I think it's back to being great adventure. So summertime, lots of fun. Continue on my list. There is, of course, there are movie theaters, but we also have we have several movie theaters. By several, I'm gonna say at least five. And the nicest one, even though everybody has their favorite, and a lot of movie theaters have been renovated to have reclining seats and whatnot, but we have the IMAX Center or the IMAX Theater in Tinseltown, which it has an IMAX screen or whatever it may be. So you get the sound and you get the nice screen with the great visuals and stuff. It's a pretty cool theater to go to. It charge extra, of course. Everything is extra. But it's a good experience. But of course, if you just want to go to a regular movie theater, there's plenty of theaters plus Movies 10, which is used to be what we call the dollar movie, but you know, with inflation and time, everything costs more than a dollar now. It's about 350 on a regular day. On Tuesday, I think it's a little cheaper. But so you'll see like movies that kind of like faded out of the regular movie theater, and then you could catch it there for a little cheaper price, which is pretty cool. And they have recliners there too, if you didn't know that. Um, so you have museums. You have the Rochester Museum Science Center, which is a cool place to go to. Got a couple different levels. They got some history stuff going in there, as well as some cool exhibits that you could kind of get hands on and have some fun with. And these are places that I've been to by my I ain't gonna say by myself, but these are places where, except for the movies, I go to the movies sometimes by myself because sometimes I can't wait. I can't wait to see a movie, so I can't wait to be like, hey, you gonna come when we gonna go this, stand, and third. I just go watch the movie because that's how I roll. But anyways, but the museums are cool. I've been on dates to the museum. I've taken my son to the museum. The museum is the Rochester Museum of Science Center. It has in the back of it, I forget what you call it, but it's a place, a planetarium, I believe it's called. Somebody correct me. Let me know in the comments if I'm thinking of something else. The other major thing or museum that we have here in Rochester is the Strong Museum of Play. So it's like it's pretty big. It's a pretty big deal. So you know, it's kind of dedicated to play. You know, it kind of started off as a museum of toys, and over the years, it kind of expanded to a pretty nice place to go and take your kids, or just go yourself. Maybe you know, with a date or with some adults. Sometimes they host an adult play session, which is kind of like in the after hours, and they will have drinks and whatnot, and you will go and have fun. You know, they got some old school games that you could kind of get hands on with. They also have like arcade games, checkers. They have you know, it's dedicated to play. They have everything pretty much that you can imagine there under that roof, and it's a pretty big place. Pretty fun. If you kind of just cool in and you just want to go get visual, there's plenty of museums, like, or rather art galleries, like the Memorial Art Gallery, which is on, I'm gonna say, University Avenue, and I've been there a few times, and that's a pretty cool place. Just the vibe, you go in there and you see some pretty nice things. You see some pretty old paintings and just collections of art, which is interesting, and you could just go. It's just a different vibe, especially if you going like like I said, I've been to all these places, you know, either with my son or with family or on a date. and it's a cool vibe to go. You know, you could, especially if you like getting to know someone, if you just like on a date and y'all, you know, in the first couple of dates and y'all just, you trying to get into conversation and stuff. It's kind of a cool place to open up and talk about things. You know, you got like conversation starters and stuff like that there, so that's a cool place. um so you got some places that I haven't been to, which is like the Axe and L. So I guess it's like a place where you could throw axes, which is, you know, sounds cool. And you could also have drinks and they have food and stuff like that. And I guess you could, they have different rooms maybe that you could get into it and like smash stuff. There's a place called I Smash, which is just like what I said. It's about going there and having fun and smashing stuff and, you know, getting all crazy, letting out some energy. There are escape rooms like the Nut House escape room on Scottsville Road. Oh, Dave and Buster's is a big like kind of arcade type of place with bar and a restaurant. It's kind of like family friendly, but it's also like a cool place, you know, hence the big bar and stuff, and it's kind of open late, you know, so that's like a place where you could go and hang out for a while and just have some fun. So I definitely like Dave and Buster's. It's pretty cool. Their food is it's all right. I'm not here to judge one place or another. Just trying to put you guys on. Speaking of, there's a place called Swilbergs. Is in the Swilberg area. That neighborhood is called Swilberg. So, but I believe they stole that name and named their place Swilberg. It's on the corner of Meg's and I'm gonna say South Clinton. And it's like it looks like an old church. It used to be like a church, and it was renovated, so they have old school arcade games and stuff like that. But it's also a bar, and you could get food and stuff like that up in there. So it's another cool little place, and it's local, and it's, you know, right in the city, close to downtown. Continuing on, Lasertron, I've done that, which is fun. The Clubhouse, Lasertron, of course, we're talking about like laser tag type of ordeal. So we have Horizon, Fun Effects, which is a skating rink. There's also another place which is Skate Lovers, I think it's called. Don't quote me on that, but I'll find more information and I'll add that to the list. The Clubhouse, I don't know if I mentioned the Clubhouse, which is, there's two locations. The Clubhouse is miniature golf outside. At the one at the both locations there's miniature golf. One location has as well batting cages outside. The other location has mini go-karts. Not mini go-karts, but regular go-karts. By far, there's lots of bowling alleys in the town. Um all over the place from Pittsford. I know there was one on Ridgeway, which I'm not sure if it's open anymore, but there's plenty of bowling alleys if that's your thing. Of course, we're close to Syracuse and Buffalo, and there's plenty of things to do in both of these towns as well as in between. Like there's Del Lago Casino, which is halfway to Syracuse. It's about a 40-minute ride. And they also have like a club in there, and there's gambling, of course. There's restaurants, and it could be a fun time as well if you like that. There's also casinos in Syracuse and Niagara Falls, um, plus whatever else they have going on in those cities. Shout out to places like Mink's Lounge, Black Bear Pub, California Brujas. These different places, they still going, and they got, I guess, good vibes. I don't know if it's every night, certain nights, but you look into that if you're trying to go out, listen to hip hop, R&B, whatever it may be. Lots of bars and restaurants in Rochester. There's like in the hundreds. Literally, people don't know that. And when I say Rochester, I'm not just speaking about the city itself, you know, because the suburbs is just a hop skipping away. You know, 5, 10, 15 minutes, you could be pretty much in any suburb out here. And they also have, you know, they add on to what the city of Rochester has as well. You know, it's all part of our area, Monroe County. So but in the following videos, I would like to do a video just speaking about specifically restaurants, and then another one talking about bars. So I hope that you guys got a little bit of something out of this. Hopefully you got some ideas of different things to do. Hopefully you stop being a hermit and staying in the house or doing the same thing that you've been doing, go ahead, open up, try something different. You might find some cool people out there that's doing some cool things. So until next time, I hope you guys are staying positive, appreciating life, and being kind to each other. See you soon.